Hey, I am excited once again to share with you in our weekly word of encouragement. I believe the place that God is taking us to is to pick up from our Bible study series on forgiveness, or what we call the power of forgiveness. Of course, that comes from Matthew, the 18th chapter, I believe, verses 21 through verse number 35. Key verse always being around verse number 27. But I don't want to get into the story because I know you heard the reading of the story and Bible study on yesterday. But I want to talk just a little bit about this unique power, this unique authority that is found in our willingness to forgive someone. Jesus tells this story to make a point when someone really asks the question on how many times should a person forgive. And I think what Jesus was really trying to say in his answer is that forgiveness is unlimited. There's really no limit on one's forgiveness. We'll be able to get into that as we move through the series in Bible study and our talks with Tillett, words of encouragement. But let me just, if I can, piggyback on the first point in our lesson on yesterday and really the week before. We're still working on that first piece, and that is the word compassion. That we are really able to demonstrate forgiveness when we practice compassion. I believe that a part of our makeup is compassion. We are made in the image and in the likeness of God. And a part of that image and likeness of God is compassion. Just like love is a part of our makeup, right? And so I think that oftentimes when we're dealing with cantankerous, cranky, and callous and careless people, I think sometimes we just believe that people are just mean-spirited and they're just nasty, and they just treat us any kind of way, and we should respond to them the same way they respond to us. But one of the things I want you to consider with the time that is ours today is this: you really never know what caused a person to feel and or respond the way they are responding, or a person to act the way they are acting toward you. We often say this, and this is no secret to anybody that's watching, that hurt people typically hurt other people. And sometimes people don't realize that they are hurting people because they are so hurt. They are so damaged. They have been damaged so bad by a broken relationship, being fired from their job, growing up in a home where they felt like their mother or father didn't care about them, or maybe they grew up in a space where one parent was there and they never really interacted with the other parent, and they're dealing with the pain of that. Maybe they're dealing with the pain of a rumor that somebody spread about them, something that wasn't true, or maybe it was something that was true, but it was for that person's ears only, and somehow it got out. Well, there's a lot of pain that's out there, and typically that pain comes from that person being hurt by either one of the situations that I just mentioned or something else. And so the only way that people typically know how to respond oftentimes is the way that that they have been treated. And so, again, hurt people typically hurt other people. Understanding, I think, where people are, where they've come from, the pain, the hurt that they have, I think it helps, or it behooves us to demonstrate compassion. Compassion, somebody might be asking, well, what do you mean compassion? When somebody's hurt me, you're asking me to forgive them. I'm asking you to have compassion because people hurt based on oftentimes what has happened to them. So I want us to have compassion on that particular individual based on something that has happened in their life, whoever hurt them. And that's the reason why they may have hurt you or launched out after you. Have compassion. That word that means that there's something on the inside of us that means that we care and we're concerned about that person, no matter how bad they treated us. Now, I'm not suggesting that you need to go out to dinner with the person every day, that you need to be their best buddy and best friend. But what I am saying is that in order for us to move to a place of forgiveness, I think that we should demonstrate compassion, and that's simply understanding where that person is coming from. And look, even if we don't understand or know where that person is coming from, or that pain that they're suffering from or dealing with, we should at least know as believers that oftentimes people behave the way they do because they've been hurt themselves. That's something we need to understand. And so when they hurt us, we are made of, or a part of our makeup is compassion. We need to demonstrate that so that we can forgive them and then move on. Watch this. Also, you've heard me mention this, and you've probably heard it before. This is nothing new to the Amen Corner. That forgiveness frees you up. That forgiveness is really about you and not necessarily about the other person. Yes, we want to forgive them, and we want that person to move to a place of healing and wholeness. But we also want to make sure that we're not carrying any unnecessary weight in our own lives, weighing ourselves down based on what somebody else has done. And so one of the things I want us to make sure that we at least practice this week, let's go back to that word, compassion. Compassion leads us to a place of forgiveness. Listen, I'm just excited about this series of teaching, this series of encouragement and conversation that we're going to have with Talks with Tillett. And I encourage you to come back next week, because God has more information to share with us as it relates to forgiveness. This is just the beginning, but there is more to come. And I pray that this moment that we have shared moves you to a place of wholeness, that your forgiveness moves you to a place of wholeness, and prayerfully that you forgiving somebody else will help them also move to a place of healing and a place of wholeness. Listen, God bless you. I'm excited about what God is giving us, but I'm even more excited about you getting ready to forgive somebody and what God is getting ready to do in your life. Listen, God bless you, and look forward to seeing you again when we share on next week.